Yo, what it do, YouTube? It is your boy, Culture Shock. We are back with another video, and today we have a special guest to bring in to talk about this upcoming game, the Indianapolis Colts versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have Andrew from the Jaguar podcast. How you doing, Andrew?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me on. Really
Hey,
appreciate
man, I
it.
appreciate you for joining. I appreciate you for joining. We got a nice division game up here, and we have familiar opponents that always seems to beat us, the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I had to come in and get some good advice and some key points from a Jacksonville fan that also produces content. Where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube, just the channels, the Jaguar Podcast. I'm also on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, pretty much wherever you find podcasts.
All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into it. We're going to start off talking about the Week 1 game. You did play our former quarterback Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders, which was it was an interesting one. I'm not going to lie. I did watch a little bit of it, but we know you probably talked about it already. But if you don't mind giving us a brief run through of what went wrong and how you guys didn't pull off the game, because it seems like you guys played pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a multitude of things. Some bad, pass coverage there by our secondary, specifically Shaq Griffin, got burned by terrible Terry McLaurin. Um, So that was one of the big plays there that we gave up. Special teams mishaps. We missed the 37-yarder in the first half. Patterson, definitely, you got to make those, as being a place kicker. Travis Etienne dropping a key fourth down pass there, and I believe that was the first half. That would have been a touchdown. So those were big plays there that I think led to us just not being able to pull away with a win. But I think, look, despite all that, and I forgot to mention some Trevor Lawrence kind of mistakes, especially that last pass, the last play of the game, essentially, which was an interception, just a bad ball by Trevor Lawrence. But I think he's going to get better, man. It's just like it's his rookie year all over again. After the Urban Meyer kind of disaster last year. It's really his rookie season all over again. So I think Trevor's going to get better. I know a lot of people are dogging him right now. I think, just got to be patient with him. Most quarterbacks, they need between 2 to 3 years to really develop in NFL and learn the system and learn the reads. And so I think he's making a lot of progress. So he definitely looks better than he did last year. So those, yeah, were some of the things.
Yeah, definitely. And that was segueing into my next question, talking about Trevor Lawrence. But how do you feel about him personally? Do you think he can be the franchise guy? Or, like, what's the ceiling? All these things. How do you feel personally about Trevor Lawrence so far?
I feel really positive about him. I mean, I think, I've had some other Jaguars players on the show on the Jaguar podcast, like Dan Arnold, uh, who was one of our tight ends, who had a lot of really good things to say about Trevor, and just like his development and like him looking, Drew Brees-esque, in his development, which I thought, and leadership too, as a leader and a person. I thought Trevor just did such a great job leading the Jaguars through that mess, through the Urban Meyer regime. So, he's in a really good situation right now. He's with the Super Bowl winning coach Doug Peterson, who's a great culture guy, and I think he's going to help develop him. So I think it's kind of sky's the limit right now. They just have to get some pieces around him. I think, specifically offensive line, which didn't look, great in the Commanders game. But I think once we kind of tighten up there, I think he could be pretty solid. I think definitely think he could be a franchise quarterback.
That's good to hear. You did mention a few names that the Colts have a lot of history with. Drew Brees being one, Super Bowl memories, and then Doug Peterson, who happens to be at the Colts practices and training camps all off season, and just so happened the Jaguars went to go get him as a head coach. I feel like you guys were spying, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it should be
Uh-oh.
a good one. It should be a good one moving forward. But let's go to the next topic. What do you like? What would you like to see from the Jaguars offense moving into this game against the Colts?
Yeah, I really want to see ground and pound, power running from this football team. I mean, I think Jacksonville has James Robinson, who we all saw came back from that really bad Achilles tear and really showed a lot of stuff. in that second half where he had that rushing touchdown, he had the touchdown catch as well. And I really was kind of bummed a little bit watching that game because I was like, man, we should have went to James Robinson just like much earlier in that first half. I felt like we kind of were mixing it up between ETN and a little bit of Robinson there, but I felt like if we had established that running game a little bit earlier in the first half, maybe that defense would have been a little tired, a little softened up, and then we could have, kind of pulled away with that with the W in that game. But that's what I hope to see in this game against the Colts. I think it's going to be really difficult, man, because you guys have a really good defensive line. I know I know Buckner is going to be questionable for this game. So that may be something, that like kind of a key, kind of turning point in the game potentially. And you have Yannick Ngakoue, he's a former Jaguar, who's got a lot to prove. I mean, this is going to be a revenge game for him. So, that's going to be a guy that's going to be, he's got a big engine, man. He's going to be fighting upfield, a great pass rusher. So we're going to have to pass protect really well in this game. And I think that could be, if Ngakoue has a good game and starts getting into Cam Robinson's head, look out, man. It could be a long day for Jacksonville.
Yeah, absolutely. Trust me, I already know about your Yannick experience. Like I said last year and the year before, we've seen him so many times because he's going from place to place, and he's definitely has the potential to be a dog. And this could be his coming out party against his former team for sure. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. For the Colts offense perspective, we need to see how we need to use more Naheem Himes in the tight end group against these guys because I mean it can go either way, especially with Michael Pittman Jr. and Alec Pierce being questionable on playing the game. We're gonna have to use the tight end core against this Jaguars defense. I feel like we're gonna have to open the offense up a little bit more. I know you guys probably gonna have something up your sleeve for Jonathan Taylor because it is Jacksonville, it is the Jaguars, and it is at you guys. You always have the upper edge against us. How I don't know, but it is what it is at the end of the day. But moving on, I did mention the tight ends against your defense. What would you want to see from the Jaguars defense to maybe give you guys the upper hand for the victory?
Pass rush. I mean, I want to see Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker blitzing. I want to see just lots of pressure, coming at Matt Ryan because, Matt Ryan. I'm not going to dog Matt Ryan at all. I mean, great veteran quarterback. I had his former teammate Foye Luakon on the podcast, and he's a linebacker we picked up in free agency. He had a lot of great things to say about Matt Ryan, and you can't sleep on Matt Ryan. He could hurt you, and he can go deep. He's got an arm, so I think if we can get pressure early in the game, establish that tempo, that Jacksonville's coming at you. We're going to send pressure. We're going to send our linebackers. We're going to stack people in the box. And I think that's going to be crucial. Obviously, Trayvon Walker, I'd love to see him have a great game. I think he's going to be flying around. You're going to see him do different things. I mean, he's a guy that is kind of that multi-dimensional defensive lineman. I mean, he can rush the passer. He can drop back in coverage. We saw that interception that he had last week against Wentz, which was, dude, that was just like incredible.
It was amazing.
Yeah, so I expect to see more of that. I mean, our defensive coordinator Mike Caldwell, he came over from Tampa Bay and learned under Todd Bowles, who's the head coach over there, but former defensive coordinator for the Bucks. So, I expect to see a lot of different packages, coming at you guys. I mean, but it's going to be a good game, man. I think definitely going to be an exciting one to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a good game in the division, always, no matter who it is, because the division team knows you more than anybody else. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing both defenses and how they're going to perform against these offensive lines that's questionable in certain times. But I already know the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to bring it. I don't know if you guys still go by Saxonville or not, but I know that you guys bring pressure towards opposing quarterbacks all the time. Do you guys still call it Saxonville?
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
it's been a while just because we had guys that were, longtime players there like Calais Campbell, so we used to nickname him the mayor of Saxonville. And he was like, he's just a character. He's a great guy. but yeah, we always talk about Jacksonville because we definitely want to get back to that.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely see that. What a time! What a time! Glad it's over. But we're gonna move ahead to the score prediction. Let's go ahead. This is the spicy part. I want to know how confident you are in your Jaguars. I need a score prediction. Let me hear it.
All right, I'm gonna go 21-14 Jags.
I like that. I like that because my score prediction was 20-13 Colts. So we're kind of in the same realm of the 20
Okay.
points because I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think it's going to be a lot of punting and special teams. But if our special teams can wake up this week, we all know how good we are on special teams when we get those blocks on punts. But I think the special teams, and we got to kick a field goal. God forbid. We got a new kicker. He is familiar with the coach, Chase McCoffin, but we got rid of the old guy, Specs, wherever he is. I'm pretty sure he's probably still kicking field goals by himself.
I feel like we had McLaughlin at one point. Like he had
I
cycled
think
through
I
and
think he did. He went for the
yeah,
Browns too. I think he did probably play for the Jaguars if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah, we did try
During
out Josh Lambo too.
our carousel of kickers that we had at one point.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Division love, you gotta love it, you know. But it is what it is. But I'm hoping Matt Ryan has another good game. Another good game. He did have a good second half performance before we missed that game winning field goal. But it is what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how Matt Ryan can toughen up this team and get them to win a division game because we almost won the first division game, but we fell short. It was a bad first half, but the Colts usually do wake up in the second half every year. I know you probably remember the sack fumble from Hurricane Dio and Trevor Lawrence. I do like to bring that up. He might see the field. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Maybe Trevor Lawrence sees ghost and throw a pick to Gilmore. He can finally catch an interception in the year, but I'm looking forward to see how that goes. Who before we leave, who is the standout for the Jaguars this game against the Colts? Who would be the one person you think will have a good game out of anybody?
Oh, that's a tough one, man. That because there's so many different pieces to the team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Trayvon Walker again.
Okay. I respect that because we do have a questionable offensive line, whether it's Braden Smith from the right tackle, he struggled week one, or it can be from the left side and Matt Pryor because he struggled in week one as well. So Walker can definitely see Matt Ryan and maybe he might get a strip fumble, but Matt Ryan will get sacked. He will get sacked this game. I will say that. But all praise be. Hopefully he has a good game. But appreciate you for joining the show. I'm not going to hold you any longer. It's been a great episode. Once again, let them know where they can find you on all platforms.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube again, Jaguar Podcast. You can find me, the podcast on Podbean or, Apple Podcasts, pretty much wherever you find podcasts, the Jaguar Podcast, and my website, thejaguarpodcast.com.
Yes, definitely check out the website and all the platforms that he did. Link of his channel will be in the description for sure. I'm pretty sure he has a link tree somewhere. But appreciate you, Andrew, from the Jaguar Podcast, from joining the show. Comment in the comment section below your score predictions and how you think this game will turn out. This is Marcus. That's Andrew from the Jaguar Podcast, and you've been Culture Talk. See you guys.
See ya.